Uta spoke about a camp that
Yes,
they went to at night.
That one. Did you tell you about the egg? The part that you don't know is I saw a grown man cuddling in the morning. I'm like, cuddling yourself. Listen, you know these pig sides? You know pig sides? It was my. I'm fun. I don't want to mention this guy, but he's very popular right now.
Diners assemble. It is another episode of iDiski Dine. And of course, as you can see, different environment, different vibes. We're out at the DP World Wondrous Stadium. A big thank you to the Lions for welcoming us into this iconic cricket venue. And one thing I can tell you is that we've been welcomed with open arms. We've got nice cutlery on the table. The tables have been set out. Oh, the red carpet was laid out for us as well. And yes, we're obviously going to make sure that we're dining with the stars. As usual, as we do it right here on iDiski Dine. And for today, of course, a little bit different. We're going international this time. And by saying that, I'm talking about one of the a handful of players who went out abroad, had a good career, came back into the country as well, and was successful as well. So, hey, if this shirt says anything, Bidvest Wits, it's one of an iconic club in the country. He played for it as well, lifted a league title with them as well. But right now, let's welcome him. Bongani Khumalo. Brother man, how are you?
Good, very good. Thank you, guys. Thank you for inviting me. I've seen some of your stuff and some amazing conversations. I like it.
That's what we aim to do.
That's what we
aim to do. We aim to have magical conversations. Cox, thank you once again for coming through. Skipper, another edition. You've brought a very big legend here of South African football.
Later, my international. I bring international, yeah. Thank you, Bongs, Sandile Khumalo.
Asazusandile.
Bakutshayela ukuthi uQuintin Sandile. Thank you for coming, brother, to iDiski Dine, and to the guys, thank for the likes, subscribe, keep on doing it. You are the one that pushing us to do more. So yeah, we're gonna have a great conversation with Bongs and Likoko. Thank you again, my brother.
You don't have to thank me anymore.
He came for the food.
Yeah, I'm here for the food. You know.
He came for the food. You know what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're still going to wait for the food. But when the food arrives, Bongs, one thing we have a problem with guests when they're here, they want to talk and they forget to actually dine. So when the food arrives, please feel free to dig in. We got your dietary things.
Please eat.
No diet.
You must eat.
All these suits. Hey, let's keep it tight.
And of course, how's life recently? Because I mean, we see you on SuperSport. You covering a lot of the Champions League games. How are you finding that? And of course, life after football itself.
Positive. It's positive. Very, very blessed. Extremely, extremely blessed. And I appreciate it more and more every day. I think people don't realize how tough it is actually retiring. It's not, and everyone talks about the financial side, the financial challenges, cause vele, whatever. That's what people see. But the emotional side is where it is. It is tough, guys. It is so difficult. I mean, I retired, and as much as I would have had stuff set up away from football, but now you wake up and it's like, okay, what do I do? There's nothing to do. I retire. I don't even know what my favorite meal is. And I'm not making this up because my meals are based on when I'm training, when I'm playing, what my body needs, more than what I feel like having. That's a sacrifice I would have made for over 10 years because that's the price you pay. Man, just so I retire, vuya 6, you're like, why am I awake? There's no training. Okay, I'm in business, I dabble in business. My first meeting's at 10, until 10. Whereas normally it's, you wake up, oats, toast, out the door, training. After training, then you may have 1 or 2 meetings, go home, rest, and then your day plays out like that. But then now, that emotional challenge, it is so difficult, guys.
Skipper, do you share the same sentiment as Bong?
Yeah, no, I share the same because we used to go to training early in the morning, 7 o'clock. We go to training. Come back at 11, 12, you're eating your lunch, you rest. Now you're no longer doing the same thing.
Sure.
So for me, I think it's much better because I take my kids to school. at least my day started already. Then from there, I go to the gym for an hour or two. Then it's after meetings, shoots, whatever. It's better. But what about other people that they don't have the same? Like Bongs says, start the meetings at 10. From 3 hours, what he does, because he likes to wake up early. 5 o'clock is awake. You know, I know him from Bafana. He wakes up at 5, he'll read the book until 7 o'clock, then breakfast.
And I think, you know, the biggest challenge also is just the pressure. You miss the pressure because that was your thing. Mauvuga, your day is planned because of the pressure, whether Wednesday night game or weekend game or so now you wake up, there's no more pressure. There's nothing to prepare for. There's nothing to also, there's no pain. Like,
niggling injuries.
You turn, you're like, yo, am I going to train tomorrow? Am I going to play tomorrow? Or maybe shot an injection. Like, all of that, it sounds funny, but it's a point. You miss.
You're right, I can relate.
You walk down the stairs and you're like, hi man, something feels different. Like, why am I? It's because there's no that niggle, that pain. Because one thing about a sports person is you become very aware of your body. You know your body very well. You know what to eat, when to drink, when to sleep. You know what you need, especially. And if you don't know, when you have big games, Tina, every game was big. Until we win league. Every game is big. But for the big games, I'm just saying. No, I'm speaking for our part. So every game is a big game. But for the bigger games, you'll see how guys prepare for the bigger games. After training, I'm in the gym, or you can see players' behavior. I watch everything. I'm like, hey, Chief, okay, so now we're playing Pirates, and you also said gym. Why? Sure. Last week when it was
you weren't showing the same energy.
It's not the same energy. Yeah. Why? Do you understand? So, and I can tell you now as a captain, that was the challenge that I would pose to a lot of my teammates. No, remain consistent. Every game is a big game. Every game is 3 points. Because when we lift the trophy, okay, Sharp, you don't like trophies. Me, I like making cash. I like making cash.
You want to exercise.
You understand? This thing doesn't last for long. So you need to maximize your earning power. And what young players need to realize is, I can't be motivating you about going to training. Hey, my bro, you are here. You've made it. You have a blank check. You decide how many zeros you want. Like kids come to me, hey, Bonza, hey, Mosngati, hey, Unando, right to Unemali. I'm like, yes and no. I'm like, Chief, you can make more, because the senior players before me told me the exact same thing. Like, look, this is a business. The thing is, we're so talented in South Africa. Ipola is normal. Do you understand? It's Ipola. I think we need to get to a mentality of, hey, I'm a working man. There's a difference.
I think I can share that. I remember when I went to France, it was also the same. I didn't think as a business person at that time. When you grow up, it's a hobby. You're just playing for fun. But once you get to that level and you see that this is a job, take this thing serious, Work your socks off. And in our generation, I will say, we'll do extra miles just to maintain your performance each and every game. You find it difficult for some of the young generation. This is my own opinion. They don't last for 2 years or 3 years consistent. Why? Because they think they arrived. Some of us, we wanted to about Dr. Khumalo. And it's in our ways we need to work harder because we are defenders. They don't recognize us.
No, they don't see you.
They don't see us.
So do you guys think, because now I'm looking at this current generation and I'm looking at the earning potential, and Bongs is saying it's an open check, right? So the earning capacity of a player now is predominantly outside of the field, because now you look at a player, they come in, they are hype, they can make endorsements. You guys never really had that going. There was never really that model going on. But now, because players now see that actually I can make more money outside of this field, is the focus now outside of the field?
Well, that's the problem. That is the problem. Like, we lose a game. I come from a culture, you lose a game. It's a fight. It's different culture. It becomes a sacred place to change. Now, you lose a game.
Laughing.
Oh, selfie. Oh, sorry, guys. We tried our best. Janja and Tonton in the change room. Like, that is, I don't agree with that, right? And I think it's great that there's more. I'll always support more money in sport, more money in football. I do support it. But the problem is now, if we're going to be in a situation where guys are going to be looking at that side more than the real side, what we had is we loved football, the authenticity of the sport. Like, that's what you love. You love to compete. You love, yes, the roar of the crowd, the pressure. That's what you live for every day. The only thing that gets me to a gym when no one's watching is because I want to feel good in front of 50,000 people. Do you understand? I want to feel good. I want to enjoy it. Then you want to make it a spectacle for people. Pay good money to watch you do your thing.
Oh, true that.
To watch you compete. 150 for a game recently now.
Exactly.
There's people that they don't eat.
100%.
Yeah,
Just to
because
come and watch you.
you've lost.
Yeah.
And as time goes by, you see emotionally like what sports can do for people. And if you are a vessel, look, don't get me wrong, it's not like we're curing cancer here. It's still entertainment, but the value that you bring in terms of joy to people, or a little bit of togetherness, something I saw during the World Cup, that goes a long way. That's the power of sport, right? That's the power of sport. And if you can invest in that holistically, with your heart, with your effort, your determination, your commitment, you'll get so many things out of the sport. You will, you really will, because you would have earned it. Don't wait now, you want the nice side before this side. Because this side, winning is ugly. Don't let anyone fool you. Winning is ugly. It is at times dirty. You'll feel offended. It is okay. As long as you understand what the end goal is, because the winning side, being uncomfortable with this only lasts a moment. We don't get along with teammates, or we have a bit of some friction or whatever. But if we are heading towards the same goal, then a day must we all get bonuses.
Everyone goes home. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
There's no problem.
Sure,
you understand?
sure.
So it's important to stay on that line, and everything else will fall into place.
And also, our job is very simple. 3 hours of effort, then you rest. In that 3 hours, put the work. Then you go home and relax and do your own thing.
I like the captain's mentality. That's on the table here. There's a captain's mentality going around here. And I wanna just to direct the conversation a bit to the beginning, right? And I'm glad that we had a chat just before we shot this episode, and we spoke about, you mentioned the difficulties that you had as a youngster because of the way you spoke.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's still a thing.
Even now.
I'm 38.
Even now.
I am 38. I don't understand how this is a headline, and I've heard so many stories. Oh yeah, no. And the thing is, the sport, people must understand something. The sport does not care where you come from, what your background is. All the sport cares about is how much time you give it, your commitment, and your honesty. That is it. That's all the sport will ever ask of you. Everything else is a bonus for you yourself, your person, personally. So my thing was, when I started, or people don't realize, and I said this on Rob, I'm like, people don't realize I had to work 3 times harder than anybody to earn the same respect. Because when I'm playing Vodacom, PSL, you think it's normal, it's fine. But I played all the leagues from under 17, you go PSL, you go what was it back then? What was it?
Castle. Wasn't there Chappies?
Castle, yeah. Castle League. It was still Castle League, Vodacom, Vela League. I went through all those levels. And through all those levels, if I'm, as a defender, if I make a mistake, it's like, Mosugini right. Hey, Bangani Bako Belung. Hey, Janjan. Right. I'm not making this up. No, I can't make this up. And I can tell you those comments, even when I got to SuperSport, it was those comments. I'm not making it up. So for me to earn the same amount, I had to work 3 times harder. I could not afford to make a mistake. I had to always be at my best, time and time again. Up until, guys then they warm up, they're like, okay, sharp, okay, hey, out in Janjan. You understand? But for the longest time, that was the problem. But in hindsight, I'm grateful for it, because that's what, obviously, that pressure and that expectation, I suppose, to a certain extent, is what got me to play at a higher level more consistently, and to honestly manage the expectation of public perception of the public. So I was never worried about the pressure from the public to perform, because I had pressure since I was a kid from internally with your own teammates.
So the challenge, you saw it at the earlier age.
100%. And you as Tina's teammates, no pegana njanja. None. You understand? Now add that plus Singisi plus you understand? Then and that would happen. It would happen. So So my character, my personality was built long before what you would see, you know, in the professional space. Because I had to be strong in terms of, why must I change? I can't feel sorry with my parents. My parents sacrificed for me to go to a good school. I did not go to a private school. I went to a good school. I did not grow up rich. I grew up in a home that was good. I was given a platform for me to excel, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not grow up poor. Did not grow up poor. Not at all. Not at all. But there was an expectation in the household that, I'll give you an example. You ask, you know, Pac-Man, 2 rand. I can tell you now, I had to justify the 2 rand. No, no, why? No, I'm going to TV game. No, I'm not a TV game. No, but I had to negotiate with my dad to like, and I lost my dad at 12. So these are very early lessons. I had to negotiate. So then he does work on the weekend. I'll give you an example. He does work on the weekend. I'd say, okay, now I'm savings in Petema page. And then based on the numbers, I'll pay you a percentage. Only when I got older, I realized, there's no money or percentage. This was a lesson. Hey, chief, you can't just say, I want money, okay, give me money. Because I'm a boy, I want money, give me money, it's fine. No. So that culture died immediately. And then the other side of it, the beauty is, when I spend my money, you must work hard to earn my money. No. Hey, you can't just. So, and I'll give you an example. If I'm going to go buy a Louis Vuitton thing or whatever, I must justify good to, okay.
Why are you getting
Why am I buying this thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
Why am I buying this thing? Is it the quality? Is it rare? Or is it just because I'm from LV? For who?
So now I look at that the Tamalako, that what he did for you.
Yeah.
Did that teach you to reason as to why you have to fit in? You get like because sometimes it's very easy to blend in. Or do funny things as a machita because everybody else is doing it. And nobody really thinks about it. But looking at it now, would you say it actually taught you in terms of putting reason?
As an adult, in fact, like I said, my dad died when I was 12. I learned these lessons at 10, 11. It taught me everything to navigate life beyond. My mom died, I was 23. 1 year before the World Cup, my mom died. Exactly 1 year on the opening day, my mom died. I was in Confed Cup. Left Confed Cup camp, went to bury my mom, went back into camp. A year later, I scored a goal in the World Cup. Amen. So the thing is,
celebration makes sense now.
Do you understand?
Celebration.
So that was a real. That was a real personal, very, very, very personal moment for me. But for me, I'm saying those lessons taught me everything about life, finances, working hard, expectation. There were so many lessons in that. I only see it the more I got older, I appreciated more and more and more and more.
Sure. We've jumped to the World Cup now.
You can see, before you take it back, you see, Uguti, a lot of soccer players sacrifice so much.
Yeah. I mean, he just mentioned losing his mom and the next day he's in camp.
Yeah. But those are stories you'll never hear about. Next guy's like Pirates. Tico at the height of his career. That was, for me, one of the best times playing my football. Yeah. Like, the first season we won it was tough. The second season, I loved it because it was direct competition. It was like we are going up against these guys. It's Pirates, it's Sundowns. One must fall if you're going to win this thing. It's like Pirates, Loftus.
Yeah.
You beat 2 games together.
Yeah. You won, I think, 2-0, 2-1.
No, not that one. We drew.
Oh,
yes,
it's not the second last game of the match season.
It was the second last, but we drew. Lafort scored.
Yeah.
Lafort scored. Yeah. So you guys were leading 1-0. Hey, and I remember that. I'm so happy. Can I just say I got an assist? Can you just roll the tape, please?
I remember.
So I remember it was a long ball, man. It was a long ball. And I remember just thinking, just hit it back as hard as you can. And I hit it back as hard as you can. And Lafort, because Lafort knew, like, whenever the ball was free, we used to tell Lafort, like, hey, Chief, if there's no one challenging us and we are jumping, run. Because we're going to get distance. We want to clear those defenders. So I jumped and I hit it straight back in. And defenders, we hate turning the whole time. When it goes, we push. We don't like turning like this. We sell a move. I think it's for CM. You got tangled.
I remember.
Go 1-1. But the best part is, I'll never forget, Tico, last 5 minutes of the game, the ball fell to him. It came to a striker, someone put pressure or whatever, we're there. Fell to Tico there, Tico ran. And till today, that is slow motion. Tico ran. And he hit it on the outside of his foot. And I saw that ball here. And I was like, please, Lord, please don't let it go in. And it curved around me like this. And I'm still praying at that time. I'm supposed to be following up because he has me. I am still praying. I'm like, please don't go in. Manchiga saw that ball hit the inside of the post. Nah, I think Andre was in goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Inside the
Andre,
post.
yeah.
And Dula saw Epumela not amen. Now we've won the league. Now we've won the league. We've won the league.
That's why you guys lost the league.
Yeah.
We goal difference.
It was
That's
goal
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
You were
they
supposed
only
to
got goal
score,
difference.
I think,
That's it.
6 goals or 7
Yeah,
goals
yeah,
at Ellis Park.
Yeah.
Is the first team that got silver
Silver
award
medals.
on that day. Yeah.
Now that he's
sorry,
here,
guys,
No,
I'm sorry.
now that you are here and he's here,
Yeah.
how did you feel that year when everyone was at Pirates? Like I'm talking about Hepinching, all the most important people were there, as if they were preempting Orlando Pirates to win. And then you guys were on the other side. Even Fikru ended up lifting something that was not even
Fikru was happy.
Fikru was a guy.
He came from Orlando Pirates at that time.
Yes. So there was, I know personally, you know, guys, not enough is said about that guy. I love that guy, man.
Fat.
Fikru. No, Fikru. Listen, I'm gonna ask you. Tafera was my bodyguard, guys. Fikru. Hey, we got along with Fikru. And the thing is, I'll tell you why. Fikru. When he used to play, like, he used to tell me, Bongani, this one, kill him, small boy,
Yeah.
kill him, Like, oh, yeah, no, don't know how to keep. So he used to like physical, even in training, he liked
like
physical.
Yeah.
If you hit him, he's like, hey, Bongani, more, strong.
Be strong,
I'm
man.
like,
Be strong.
Okay, sure. But that got us competitive. In-house competition before we even got out there.
Sure. Whew. We are jumping eras now, and we need to go to. No. I love the conversation. We need to go to your beginning. And I was told I cannot not speak about Acadia Shepherds. And we think about a lot of the teams like these, that were there, big at the time, developing the great players that we have. But your experience during that period, if you could share it for us, how was it like?
It's a culture I wish we still had, yes. I really, really wish. Because
would you compare it to School of Excellence in any way?
I hadn't been to School of Excellence. Sure. I hadn't gone there. Sure. The only time I ever went, honest truth, was a under-17 national team camp there, 2 days, where we stayed there for like a weekend. That was the only taste. The one thing I know is that place is very isolated. Like there was not much around.
Not much is around. Yeah.
It's not. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm glad I wasn't in that environment. Like my academy environment was attacks. You're still around students, so you still get a taste of life. So you still learn to manage yourself because you're around students. Students like grooving. So you must be strong enough to go, hey, chief, not today. I've got a game. You are Headfield, you must.
But how
yourself.
Before you go through, how you handle yourself, because Acadia is here, Hatfield is there,
Kupis. So that's the thing. We are Joel. So that's the thing. Life, even as a youngster, as a teenager, being exposed, it helps you to, even when you get older, these things are not new to you. It helps. So my life at Acadia, I tell you, my closest friends are from Acadia Shepherds. From under 10, we used to play from under 12, 14, 17. There's no cloud. When you're young, you play early, like 10 o'clock or whatever. We used to sit as a group, about 10 or 11. We used to sit the whole day at Arcadia, watch the older guys. There was such a real football culture. We were together. Like I said, I'm still friends with those guys till today. And it's really special, man. There was a proper culture at Acadia Shepherds, and I really wish that place can be, revived. And obviously in Mauye Clubhouse, Mark Fish, Mark Fish obviously played for Acadia at the time. He was in the Premier League. So I go upstairs, I'm like, oh, Fish was here. I'm like, but I want to go there. So, maybe the people here can help me get there. I'm within the right environment, or there's cues to say, hey, chief, if you focus, maybe you could also get there. So
but
nice.
It's also inspiring when you go to the changing room or to the office and see some of your heroes or your idols. It keeps you motivated, ne?
It's club culture, and I think local clubs don't do that enough, in my opinion. In fact, Europe, whether you go lower tier teams or whatever, they appreciate their
stage you and what.
So when you join a club, it's not just, okay, I signed for Pirates. Okay, Pirates, now everyone knows me. But do you know the culture? Do you know what you represent? And I'm saying, do you know what you represent? Beyond Malume says, Pirates, hey, it's amazing. No, do you understand the culture, the sacrifices that were taken before you put on this jersey? That's what you're playing for. That's the history. So we don't have enough, my opinion, we don't have enough of that education with the young players. So young players will sign, I signed for Chiefs, oh great. Pirates, I signed for Pirates, great. My followers, great. Okay, everyone knows me. Everyone knows me now.
But you don't know the culture, the history.
I scored a goal, I'm gonna, okay, maybe not magazine now, but I scored a goal and I trend now. right? Angithi it was kickoff back in the day.
Yeah, it was kickoff.
Now
Not
I
doom and
train.
kickoff.
But you need to understand what you represent, I believe, for the young players. It will just help you focus a bit more and just give a little bit more extra. And that extra gets you better contracts, gets you playing at a higher level, you live a better life.
Better zero.
Looking at Caledonian now, how do you feel? Because I
Heartbroken. Heartbroken.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Bongs, we know that you don't eat pork. So
Yeah.
There's none of it here.
Yeah.
And we know that you don't, I'm not a big fan of amakota, but because
Oi.
Too Sly makes amakota.
Yes.
We've got cocktail kotas there for you to try out as well.
That's fine. I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
It's a cheat day today.
Sure.
Yeah, cheat day. Day off.
Now you can dig in, gentlemen.
And I can tell you, with the group of guys that grew up, it kept us out of trouble. That was a happy haven. It was a safe place. You know, we supported each other. You know, it was it's very sad. Yeah, very, very sad.
Yeah, no, it's quite sad to see such institutions, you know, go down. I mean, I'm glad that we spoke about School of Excellence, but I'm glad that an institution like that has been revived as well, you know, because it's given us the best players in the country. But now you make that move to Amatax, and I want to figure how that happens, because from my understanding from now, if I told someone about Clapham, they'd say, no, you're probably going to be a Sundowns player because there's a connection between Clapham and Sundowns. I understand now there wasn't that connection there, but there was a story with Sundowns.
Yeah, there is. So, I mean, Arcadia, first of all, from Arcadia to Tux. So when I was 16, 17, there's a tournament in Northern Ireland called the Milk Cup. So all the big clubs, Sporting Lisbon, Manchester, you name the big clubs, they send their youth teams there.
We would compare that to Bay Hill tournament.
Yeah, we compare to Bay Hill tournament, basically, yes. Very good comparison. So same thing, Northern Ireland. So there's a tournament coming up, and there was a scout, Paul Matthews, actually. So Paul Matthews, you know, obviously, apparently, as I would, you know, would see me watch whatever. So they invited me over to a trial. There was maybe 3-4 of us from Arcadia to join Tux for this trip. So we joined Tux, and it was hectic training. We cross over to Northern Ireland. So it was Northern Ireland for the tournament, and then we're going to go over to the UK to play. We played Portsmouth, Southampton, we played Chelsea, we played, what else did we play? With Portsmouth as well. Did I mention Portsmouth? Yeah, I mentioned Portsmouth, yeah. But anyways, the other names will come. Southampton as well was one of them as well. And Leeds was another one because we made Roo. And then, so we play the tournament, we get to the final. So it's, long story short. So basically you have 8. You play 2 games. 2 games determine whether you're in the first 8, the second 8, or the last 8. Kind of like Champions League now.
Champions League, yeah.
The Champions League feeling now, yeah, a little bit. So we were in the second tier. We got to the final, we played Man United. We are 17, no? I was one of the tallest guys in our team. First of all, when I left, I was a midfielder, striker. I promise you. You must ask the youth streets about me. I used to be a midfielder. And honestly, my thing when I was young was I could score from far. Like I could really hit the ball from far. Yeah. So I would score goals from far.
long range
Easy, long range, easy. Oh, diagonals. I was hitting diagonals as a 12-year-old. I think it's because being shape. There was something like that. I won't claim it, but there was something like that along those lines.
Yeah, you are tall.
There was something.
Was tall.
100%. So, anyways, we played two friendlies. I can tell you now. The first game I scored 2 goals. Long range and a tap-in. The little tap-in is because now, second half, they moved me to striker. So they're going direct, right? Cool. And I'm flicking.
Sure.
I score tap-in sharp. Second game, I get the ball. I go left foot, top corner. Even I'm like, yo, go. So we get to that side, nah. First game.
Let me just feel that there is Timmy.
No, I'm a humble man. But I was like, wow. So then anyways, now we travel, we get there. First game, just everyone. So I'm the tallest, probably the biggest guy in the team. One of, there's maybe 2-3 of us. Yo, figure out, they're like my size. Hey, we get beat first game. Second game, Steve hopped, goes, hey, Bongani, you see these guys are big. Hey, have you played centre back? I'm like, no. He's like, no, listen, here's the thing. It's the same as midfielder, né? You still win your headers, you still play at the back. The thing is you're still comfortable, so you can still play. But you just stay, you don't attack. I'm like, I'll figure it sharp. So you're a sweeper? No, but like a back 4. Yeah, it's just the only thing is just do what you do in midfield, but just don't go attack. And don't take risks. Cool. Second game, say I win. I'm winning my head, sharp. From that point on in, that's when I became a centre back.
That's how it happens.
Masbuya. There was interest from Man United and Chelsea for me to go back. But when I landed from that trip, I had matric prelims to write and I had matric. So that opportunity obviously fell through, but it helped get traction locally where SuperSport were interested. Obviously, SuperSport were interested. They kept track. SuperSport were interested. I went to SuperSport on trial. And Sundowns, caught the attention of Sundowns. That's where the Sundowns thing came in. So I went to Sundowns 17-year-old on a trial at Sundowns.
Okay.
And Peter Ndlovu had just signed at the time, I remember. Went to trial. I turned to Sundowns for a week. Mambush Mudau, who I love to bits. And
Yeah.
So I'd catch a lift with him from mainland, training, I'd train, then I'd wait for him and I'd catch a lift back with him as well. So love him. What a guy.
That
guy is Sundowns, isn't it? Like
And
everything about him is
like he's
Sundowns.
the heartbeat of Sundowns.
And I want to go to boyo kahle history yonke into
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
because useduze.
Yeah.
Ayikho into emnandi ukuthi uhamba nomuntu weSundowns, everything that you want to ask it's here.
And he's a good guy.
And you discuss it at Transi.
Transi.
Go to the office.
And he's honestly a good guy, like a genuine,
No, he's a good guy.
unbelievable guy. So that happened. And then it didn't happen. Like, hey, no, my friend, not good enough. There was foreign coaches at the time. So I was like, hey, okay, sharp. Went back to Tux. Well, the plan was I would go back to Tux because obviously they knew now I'd done well, right? But then it was like, okay, let's go to SuperSport. I went to SuperSport. I got one training session, but no, I said, right. It's like, okay. Went back to Tux. And that's where it started. Played in Vela at that time. Then obviously we got to the playoffs, lost to Amazulu. And then after that season actually, Gavin actually wanted to sign me for Swallows. But my agent was like, no, there's word that Gavin might leave, so just wait. And also you guys are challenging, for promotion, so just relax. Like, okay, no stress. Played playoffs, we didn't make it, but then when Gavin moved to SuperSport, that's when he signed. And that's
I think it's that time Coach Steve was there to select you to the national team. I think I'm at or under 20, somewhere there.
Yeah, he was, under 20, under 23. Yeah.
Ila kahle change izinto kakhulu for wena and that.
I'll tell you a story, Coach Steve once called me up, guys. I'm not making this up, and I've never said this in public. He invited me. There was a 2-day camp. Now, remember that time, everyone is a household name. Everyone's a household name.
Yeah.
So anyways, get there. And I'm already nervous. But sharp, I get there, 2-day camp, I sleep. I don't want to mention this guy, but he's very popular right now. Again, he comes in late and he's making a noise. Because I'm nervous. I started to sleep. It was the worst 2-day camp of my life. Like, I couldn't even pass a ball straight. Like, it was bad. You know when these pick sides? You know pick sides? It was It was the worst 2 days of my life till today. In football. Unbelievable. So anyways, now I into the campus gone pear-shaped. That's what I'm saying. It gets better. Then that was like when I first started, the first 2 years at Tux. Must be my playoffs. Steve calls me back to under 23s. He calls me back. I train 1, 2, 3 days. After 3 days, I'm just, I was there. I come. It's like, hey, I'll tell you, paper little man. We sell a payano fix, send something. And I go, Mangboy, hey, have I not called you up before? I'm like, yeah, you did. He's like, where was it? I'm like, no, there was a 2-day camp. What? What?
He remembers.
How are you this person? You were so scared. You were shy. Now you're strong. You loud. You like, how did this happen? I'm like, no, that camp changed me. I was like, because it was that English thing. It was that thing, those insecurities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of those insecurities. After that camp, after that embarrassing 2 days, I was like, no. From now on, I will be me. Whether you judge me, you like me, you don't like me, I will be me and I will play and I will. And I think that's where the big change.
I think character yako, that's when it came, ne?
Definitely, because I worked 3-4 times harder then. Tux and 50 pete yonki. There's gyms, there's swimming pools, there's what. I used to sit with the physios because you can grab him. Like, okay, what must I work on? How can I get better? How can I get stronger? Or like you use these things and you find information. They tell you, no, do this exercise, do that exercise, and slowly you get better.
You spoke about your time at Tux just now, but earlier on, before we started shooting, you spoke about how Semi Chotton was the head coach.
Yeah.
But the man that we see most times nowadays is Steve Barker,
Yeah.
who was his assistant. And you're praising him for working with young players, and that's really what we're seeing right now. What is your experience with the man during that time, and what impact did he put in your career?
No, amazing. So at the time, memory serves me correctly, he was assistant. Sammy Troughton was the head coach in my last couple of years. Sammy Troughton was the head coach, but he was assistant, and he would take a lot of the sessions. It was literally like almost like that European model where the manager watches, and you know what I mean. Yeah. So so that's why the relationship, generally your relationship with the assistant coach is closer. Like, so yeah, amazing. He's amazing. The way he speaks with players, like his temperament. He doesn't need to shout for him to, basically communicate his authority. He doesn't have to shout, but he's just so good, man. The way he speaks, the way he articulates, like the way he shows you things is unbelievable. That's why I'm not even surprised at his success at Stellies with so many young players, because he has it. He just has that thing.
So is good player management.
Incredible. One of the best, and obviously an intelligent coach in terms of tactics. But I think the important thing to remember is when you're a coach and you have your players, you can explain tactics and all of that, but there's still a human element. When you can build a rapport with a player, an understanding to explain things one on one, I think as a coach you become powerful. You become so powerful, and that's what Steve had. If you have a bad day, he'd come to you like, hey, you okay, boy? What's happening? Hey, I saw there, you did, what's happening? That conversation does so much good to players.
Cox, we've got to jump into Bong's time at SuperSport United. And I just want your reflection of that team, because prior to Gavin Hunt getting there, it was, Pito Musimane, along with Thomas Marichache. And they were able to get this team to win trophies, but they couldn't get it over the line to win a league title. What is your recollection of that SuperSport United team?
The team before,
Yeah.
they were this close to winning the league title. You could tell like it's going to happen. Because remember, that very same SuperSport is a SuperSport that went into the Champions League. A lot of people don't know this, but they went into the Champions League. That's when we still had remember we had the two spots in the Champions League and it went away.
Yeah.
Pirates did well, and now they
came
brought it back, and then now Sundowns, so they were so close. And Pito kept on saying that, give me time, we're about to win this thing. You could feel that, there was something that they were building. So that's why I was a bit skeptical when he left, to say, is somebody going to carry on from where he is? But he had gotten rid of the ego, because sometimes players can be on some, no, he's going to be as good as those guys. So now you have to constantly live up to the standard of the guy. Yeah, players, because as much as they nyatsa you as a player, they'll nyatsa you as a coach. And say, because there was a player that used to say, we would listen to the coach's instruction, and then after that, we get into the field and say, let's do our own thing. And then coach him, what's happening now?
Yeah, Bongs, would you concur with what he's saying in terms of what you felt in that dressing room in that first season when you arrived? That was a bit of...
So obviously I don't have the before, so I only know, obviously from Gavin, but the one thing I'll say is, obviously after 5 games, we like bottom of the log. Now, people don't understand. I can tell you now what the secret was. Okay. I have the secret now.
Tell us.
So,
Tell us the sauce.
I understand. So much. No, it's even better than that. It's even better than that.
Do any of you guys remember what Mahuta said before he goes in?
I remember. I remember. Mahuta spoke about a camp. At night.
That one. Did you tell me about the egg?
No,
that egg. He never went into detail. He just said
so that was your breakfast. So before your lala, you dig a hole. So you dig a hole, you put leaves, then you pee. Then you put your egg. Then you put leaves again. Then you pee. And then you close it. That's your fire. So like to bleed.
So yeah, okay.
Like to bleed. So like normal fire.
Yeah.
That's what campfire keeps you warm at night, but it's also cooking your breakfast. And that's what happens. From there, when the fire dies, then we in a line. He told you that story, then you're in a line.
I was scared, and that's it. He never wanted to.
Let me tell you why he was scared. So now, now we're in a line. We're going up to the mountain.
Yeah.
We're walking, and then there's a ranger in front and at the back. Hey, you two, you sleep there. We are walker. You two there. Why did you check with her? Next thing, you guys sleep there. The part that you don't know is, I saw grown men cuddling in the morning. I'm like, cuddling yourself. Listen, so now I think he must be 2-2. I'm like, oh, there's 4s, there's 5s, let's keep like, because I think it's dark. It's usually just like a random time. What's happening? Sialala. That's what we say. Like, hey, you know, before sleeping, it took so long for people to sleep. I say, all right. Yeah, no, I'm right. When you sleep.
So you could only hear voices, but not really.
Just voice.
Okay.
It's pitch black. It's pitch black. We don't have these phones. What. Cool. Then wake up in the morning. Now you must go dig up your breakfast. Dig up your breakfast. You take your egg. That was your breakfast. So those are the inner workings of the camp. And I'll tell you, from there, all the egos were. Then we became a team.
Yo.
First fixture. And the first fixture, as it were, was against you guys. Pirates at Loftus. We play you guys Pirates at Loftus. Pa goes, pa, long range, pa. In the net. Like, wow. Great goal. They equalized 1-1. Then Amen Ngulungulu. My first goal actually was, as it were, was against Pirates. And my dad was a Pirates supporter. Corner, Buyuki. And in the week, we were messing around. Like, it was just kicking. Like, you know, after training, you just kick. I was like, hey, cross Alapo's head. We're just messing around. There's nothing formal. And it literally happened in the game. Yuki corner just ran, touch, goal. And that was it. From there, then we just got stronger and stronger and better. And we got across the line eventually. But it's a fun, that camp.
It's a very interesting story. Happy, do you have any camp stories? Such sort of close to this one. I mean, we do know Pirates, but you know. What is your recollection of some of the camps that you guys had?
Ndoda unokuvuka ebusuku ecampini ndoda ungazuyaphi. Hlele hotela lapha hey. Badozana enzobona ubani hey ndoda. Ulala ngo3 ekseni ndoda. Hey. Those days my friend,
sure.
It was tough.
Like sure, I fatigue for the following day.
Uvuka fresh again. Uvuka fresh umcemana uraji, you're going to compete. It's an English story, Baba. It's too much.
Nah, man, you come into this team, it has some very experienced centre backs. Big George is there. There is Ricardo Katza. Then there's also youngsters like Rudy Isaacs as well at the time. Coming into that team...
He actually came from Tux as well.
Actually came with you to Tux.
Yeah, he left.
So they took you as a centre-back pairing to SuperSport.
No. Rudy was the first one to leave. He actually went to... I'm not sure, if I'm not mistaken, he went to Swallows first. Actually.
Yeah, Swallows.
With Gavin. And because Gavin knew him, I think
he went to Swallows.
Talk about your... Of course, Gavin wanted you at Swallows. Now he's at SuperSport. He brings you in along with Rudy. What was the message to you at the time? Because you are coming up against these experienced centre-backs in this team who have really been tried and tested. And you coming in, your first season in the PSL. What was it like and what do you recollect from what you learned from those centre-backs as well?
Sure, well, the message came before even Gavin. I remember being on the phone with Stan Matthews, CEO, amazing man, by the way, love him. Probably only one of the very few people in football I can say I honestly still respect. So Stan, thank you so much.
A man who loves being on the phone.
Yeah, no, Stan.
He really loves being on the phone.
I have all the love and respect for Stan. You know, as a young man, he allowed me to speak freely, speak openly. You know, as a young black man, allowed me to speak freely, speak my heart, and he's always been honest with me. So I appreciate that. You don't get a lot of honesty in football. So anyways, I didn't know him at the time. Called me, hey, Stan Matthews, okay, cool. We're talking contracts. So he's like, listen, he's like, Bongani, I need you to know, hey, Gavin is really believing in you. He's really betting on you. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, no, I've got a big centre back. He's knocking on the national team, Big George. He's been amazing for me. And Gavin wants me to move him, wants me to sign you. He wants me to sign you. So I hope you're ready, my boy. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. And he goes, one thing I'll tell you. He's like, listen, if you stuff me around, you'll have problems. He's like, I promise you. He's like, if you stuff me around, you'll have problems. He's like, but if you do well for me, I'll make you a very rich man.
Sure.
I was like,
wow. Excuse me? They're going to make you rich, my man.
I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay. Thank you, sir. And that was it. It was a 5-minute call at best. All I needed to hear, Mafika, you mean Gavin is simple. Gavin is easy. You sign, yeah, good play, sharp, yeah. There's no, Gavin doesn't really have many talks per se or whatever. And that was it, you know, the responsibility was outlined way before I even got there. And then yeah, you know, just got there, worked hard. I actually got injured. I basically my All Africa games with Steve came back a little bit late. So I missed the preseason to Australia at the time. Mababuya, I joined them. I think maybe like a week or something, I got injured. I had a knee injury and I was out. So I missed the first start of the season. Excuse me. And then I started much later. Like my debut was actually against Chiefs at Loftus. That was my first game for SuperSport.
But how did it feel to play with Tabo September and Cards, because you were still young there. I think me and you were 18, 19 by that time.
18, 19, yeah.
You know, and those guys, they were experienced in the game, man.
It was, I think, so I think being around the club, when I say around, is like, there's no Lalama friendlies and stuff like that. So there was a little bit of familiarity on a football stage. I'm not saying they knew me, but I would have known them from at least there. So it's not like the distance was from, just TV and whatever. So obviously, Mangfia, you meet the guys and guys who have done well and, stars of the teams and stuff. And you just, head down, you just work hard and you just try and earn your respect, as you go along. But I never had any problems with any of the guys. I mean, all the guys were very open, very welcoming. And like I said, obviously that whole English thing, would rear its head. It would come out when it would come out. But it would come out and yeah. And then I'd be like, okay, sharp, it's happening again. But then, as things went on, then it became a lot better. I think the guys understood me a lot better. Yeah.
I'm looking at the time and we spoke for an hour almost.
Yo.
And we've not even got to the parts we want to get to in the conversation.
I'll fast forward it down. It's a long story.
Of course. You then win 2 more league titles after your first season, 3 in a row. Were there any interest at that time once you've won that third one? Did you know already that there's international offers that are coming through? What was it like in that last season when you won that third title?
Geez, not even the last season, the first season. After the first season, there was interest from Panathinaikos as well.
In Greece.
Yeah, and apparently the amounts...
they were big.
They were big at the time. Along with the Olympiacos as well, yeah. The green ones.
He had just gone there, what gone there? Moon. Bryce had just gone there as well.
Yes.
So they were,
Champions League team, proper Champions League team.
So there was
even Nassif Morris was there.
Definitely. Big player, huh?
Yeah.
Huge player.
Big player for them. So there was interest and it fell through. I can tell you there was an article that said, if you sell Bongani, Gavin Hunt, me, I'll quit. It was in the papers. I don't know whether it's true or not, but nonetheless, it was a thing that was there, then wasn't there, right? It ended. I wanted to leave to a point where I got to camp. Normally, there's that first international camp, with the international camp. After the first 2-3 weeks, there's a camp. My fair camp in Upane is like, hey, Bombs, hey, my man, what's going on? Like, hey, sure, Ben. He's like, hey, I hear Panathinaikos want you. He's like, you want to be the king of Vuvuzelas. You don't want to live the good life.
That sounds like something Benny would say.
And I love Benny. Guys, Benny's the most misunderstood South African footballer. Yeah. Benny's the nicest, funniest guy. He's got such a nice heart, guys. Benny's like, Bongs, Panathinaikos want you, my brother. You don't want to live a good life. You want to be the king of Vuvuzelas. I'm like, Benny, I want to go, but, nonetheless, so stayed, pushed what I had to push. And obviously in hindsight, you look at it personally, you're like, you know what, maybe it's a good thing I didn't go, because eventually I did go. So the way I see it, I got, 2 more years with my mother, ultimately. So you look back and you're like, you know what, it's fine. I still got my opportunity. But yeah, it was amazing times, there was interest. I can't say that Pirates or Chiefs wanted to sign me. I can't say that. I don't know. I don't know whether they did. I didn't hear it. And I don't think it would have gotten to me at the time as well. I think one thing SuperSport does well is protect the young players. I think, with Stan Matthews and obviously Gavin and the way they are, and Thomas, don't forget Thomas. Oh, what a wow. Incredible human being. They really do well to protect. I mean, Tommy, a lot of things that are good about me off the field, I would have learned from Tommy. As much as Gavin would give you, that fire and you fight and that guy, it's great, But Tommy's would sit you down, I'm like, hey, Chief, Bella, you can do that there, but remember, off the field, it's different. You must be this type of person, be kind, listen to people. No, don't be afraid of people, be open, be softer, be, so he would take time to have those conversations with players and, and again, incredible football brain. Obviously, he was immensely talented himself. He would see things on a pitch. He would tell you straight, Madlane Golden Arrows, like, hey, Bongs, Golden Arrows, you let him 10.
Bafana was
He
10.
will face you and then you have problems. Hey, you must go. You understand?
Sure.
So I mean, but yeah, incredible times. And yeah, very grateful for those people around that time. They really did help shape my
A man that had a lifetime contract with SuperSport. Pretty much. It was up to him when he wanted to retire. That's it. They were just rewarding his loyalty. That's it. That's how much they valued it.
A huge loss not only for SuperSport, but for the South African football fraternity as a whole. It's a very, very big loss, Thomas Marichache. But World Cup. And I like the fact that you spoke about the dressing room earlier on and how you operate in a dressing room. You're 23 years old, my man. FNP Stadium, I'm sure you walk out you've never ever walked out and playing for SuperSport at that time.
No, you can say it. It's fine.
No, I said.
It's
But
true.
mfethu siyabonga wenza into ezinkulu in football. You understand? Singasho ukuthi awudlalanga Pirates and Chiefs. But at that time, you've never been a full stadium capacity. 96.
Not that stadium.
Not that stadium.
As well, on top of that.
You understand?
Very different.
World Cup.
Very different.
11 June.
No, actually, so what people don't realize is the opening game was, wow, 90,000 people. It was so loud and amazing. No. Remember when we played Colombia? The last match, the last preparation match against I think it was Colombia.
So Paraguay.
Was Colombia.
No, I think it's Colombia.
Not Loftus, what's this?
No, the preparation.
That's Soccer City.
Oh, okay.
It was Colombia.
Okay, my bad.
Colombia, right? That was loud because that was South African people. You must remember, opening game, there's foreigners. They want to see the opening ceremony, they want to, there's celebrities. It's diluted. You understand? It's not as raw as what we. That Colombia game, I never thought of Vuvuzela was that loud.
You were the king of Vuvuzela.
It was. Yeah, no, eventually I did. Didn't I? Thanks, babe. No, but it was absolutely packed and loud. You could not hear. And Pereira was like, okay, boys, you see, this is what you're going to get. Opening games is what you're going to get. So now you know. You can't just be like, hey, left, right, men on. No, you must know what's happening at that level. When it's that loud, you really have to be switched on. Full game, like you've never in your life.
How much of an impact did that departure of Pereira mess us as a country?
A lot.
I got
In a
cool
sense-
time.
You know why?
Is this when Joel Santana came
Yes.
in? That period?
Yeah,
when-
that period. Sure.
Yeah.
Because we were building from it. We had
we
a
were
clear
building.
plan.
Because
Yeah,
basically,
for them.
this Atenama came, Coach Pereira, since 2008, ne?
208, yeah. So he
208.
knew a lot of us youngsters, especially.
Youngsters. So there was a lot of camps.
Yeah.
Maybe like FIFA break, we'll select the team, go to camp for 1 week. Next time, off-season camp, So I think it affected a lot of players there.
It did, yeah, I think it did. But then obviously, Joel Santana came in and, I know he's a big guy, big personality. I think maybe he struggled, with relaying his personality the way he would have wanted, personality more. Because it's more, coaches have different strengths. You get guys who are tacticians, guys who are more motivators, and obviously they'll have a team that brings it all together. I think with him, what I would have heard maybe from Brazil, I might be wrong, but it was him, his big character was the thing. Maybe he would have struggled to just communicate the character and that. But obviously, he came in, he did a job, and Pereira came in, then he left, and then Pereira came back again for his second spell. And obviously, there were camps, and it's, you show your stuff and you hope you get a place.
Walking out, you saying that, the Colombia game was completely different, but knowing that this is the FIFA World Cup at the time, you're the age of 23, you partner Ngumbaza at the back. What is that like, especially in that dressing room? I'm trying to understand how the dressing room was like at that point. And not only that game, also importantly, that 3-0 after Uruguay. What was the dressing room like in those two different times?
Sure. I think, the first game obviously is very different because now there's TVs in the change room. I've never seen TVs in the change room. Right? So there's TVs now, this thing is on, you see a little bit of the ceremony, but obviously you do your prep as an, hey, you see, what all these international celebrities are here. People are here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see, okay,
It's
so this is a
live.
big thing, right?
Yeah.
Cool, great. But you still need to focus on why you're here, which is the football. So you do the normal preps and it was normal because we had played so many friendlies before the game. So whatever you did before, it was the same sort of structure, habits, same habits. We played out first half. Obviously, there were nerves. This halftime, Pereira said was, okay, boys, 45 minutes, there's no damage. Okay, we're a bit nervous, it's fine, but now we're in the game. So now let's play. And second half was a much better footballing half because of that. Because now you've settled and, now we're here, it's happening, it's happened, let's play, And then things got better. Now you talk about, Loftus. As much as I mentioned Loftus, my debut, my first goal, so many great memories. Now I have a nightmare at Loftus where we lose. My first nightmare, it was rough.
Do you still
really,
think
really
about
rough.
that, brother?
Who's that?
Diogo Forlan.
No, not really. No. I don't even, not Forlan for me, because he was there.
Sure.
Me, I worry about Suarez.
Suarez.
Unbelievable. But that game also was so tricky, man. It was so tricky. And I guess it gave you a taste of how quickly things can go left at a high level, very, very quickly. Because at some point, we were fine. Things were ticking over nicely. Obviously, good confidence from the first game, and fine. You concede first goal, then the second goal. Obviously, we go a man down, then the third. In hindsight, you think, well, if we just keep it at 2-0, does it not give us a better chance? But it's football. Obviously, things happen. You're at a high level. It's top quality players. There's no guarantees. But the last game, the pressure, wow. I can tell you now, I lost, I think, they used to take our weight, after every game preparing. Maybe you lose 1 or 2 kilograms, maybe 3 maxis. I think that game, maybe I was knocking on Boma 4.
The last game.
After the loss.
After the
From
loss.
the stress, from the loss. From the
Stress.
The June 16th.
And we were allowed to go home.
Uswethile, baba.
Yeah, Pereira, international coach. Go home, spend the day with families, then come back the next day. At least you get like a few hours. So if the game's at night, you go home and you just come in the next night, for camp again. So went home, came back, we're about to go for training. And feels like, hey, Bongs, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm sharp. Why? He's like, nah, dude, you've lost a little bit too much weight. I'm like, why? It's just from the stress. And waking up that morning, I've never felt like, listen, I'm someone who's lost both parents at this point. I woke up and I was like, this is very close to that. Very, very close. So the stress, real, what. But obviously now you need to get yourself up. And the chips were down. It was tough. Because now everyone from the first game, everyone loves you. I can tell you now, I had 2 phone numbers. This one, another one, from high school. The number you call as high school.
Yeah.
500 messages, 600.
Are you okay?
I'm on these calls now.
I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. And you went to, obviously, I'm not gonna lie, I went to a multiracial, call it a Model C school. So when I speak to my friends, they're like, hey, what are you doing, bro? Oh no, I play soccer. I'm like, bro, is that all you do? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm studying. But they didn't understand even at the time. I'm actually, I'm employed here. I'm a pro baller. Then there's those guys, but, oh, so that's what you do. Wow, I was telling my parents. Then you read, then there's the crush that said no to in high school. I told my parents we used to date. I'm like, no. You said no to that pizza date. You said no.
Said no to the pizza.
So you get all those messages after the first game. I'll tell them, second game, we lose.
Sure.
I'll go back on the bus, 2 phones. I had 6 calls and 6 messages. 6 calls, 6 messages. From hundreds. From hundreds. That wasn't even the stressful part. I'm thinking silently.
Yeah.
That wasn't, you're going to leave the stadium. I think there's interviews.
Oh, after the game.
Straight after the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's where I got a real taste of how fickle people are. So no matter what happened after, my career go up, down, more money, less, whatever. Stay the same, chief, because people will love you, the changes, right? The only people you can trust are the ones you have here at home, right? Last game, I talk about the stress. That's game.
My birthday.
Your birthday. Yes. Happy birthday. You are welcome. I gave you a nice present.
That was my birthday gift. Those tickets for that game.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Thierry Henry. Almost made me an Arsenal fan. But I chose the right team.
You stayed strong.
I stayed strong and became a Liverpool supporter. Glad with the choice.
Nice.
That game, Bongs, we all knew France at the time. Of course, people were thinking about Pierre Issa back then and all of that. But this was a France that had a lot of stars, but a lot of friction in the camp.
Yeah.
They didn't want the coach at the time. And we knew that you guys needed to score 4 goals.
Yep.
And
Against
we were
France.
like, it's just 4 goals. But it was 4 goals against France. That pressure, Bongs.
As much as they had, obviously, their own internal problems, we weren't privy to that because we need to prepare for a game. So, they're fine. It's not our business, but they had their problems. And, you're in the tunnel, my friend, and even Benny would tell you, it's like, if you've never felt your body, certain parts do this, you've never been under pressure. That means you haven't played in big games. I remember Benton was like, hey, if you have not felt in the tunnel, you've not played in big games. And this is a guy, Champions League final.
My man, yeah.
I can tell you now in that tunnel, you look here, Cisse, what, all these guys. These are guys you had posters of half of them, So
oh my word, bro.
It was quite interesting. But once the game kicks off and you get your first touch, we are caught. Then it's things.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
another
gonna
game.
die.
Then you manage. You manage whatever challenge is in front of you. And for me, Shaba was my roommate for like good 3 months before the World Cup. So, it was literally one of those where I kept on going to the near post, and he kept on going far post. I was like, okay, fine. I'm not gonna tell him. I'm just gonna go far post.
When you tell him,
When he's gonna go
I've learned that.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave him. I'm just gonna go where I know it's coming. And I took a gamble, and next thing, faggy shoulder inside.
Yeah, brilliant goal.
Done.
My OGs usually say that the game is getting softer and softer and softer. Looking at your goal today, and
It would have been disallowed.
would it have been a foul?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think
We've
so.
probably been disallowed.
Like,
But it should-
and
And the thing is, it shouldn't have been because, and in my opinion, I'm like, it's not, how is it a foul? Because I was off, and I've looked at it before, and I'm like, I'm off the ground before he's even tried to jump.
yeah.
So by the time he's trying to jump, I'm already airborne. So how am I fouling you? It was a different case if he jumped and I jumped and I hit him in it like that, do you understand? But when I'm here attacking, you standing still, it can't necessarily be a foul. But you're right, it probably would have been...
They would have called it and checked it.
But listen, one thing I'll tell you, as tall guys with long limbs today, it's like...
It's a foul.
I'd be... You know what I feel? If I was playing now with VR, you feel like you'd be giving away penalties because you got long limbs,
Yeah,
you're
there's
tall.
no-
And I feel like nowadays, the contact is circle.
I say.
And before we go on a contact, we are on a strike
it's
and
not like
daughter.
contact
Can
sport,
leave.
yeah.
No, it's
I mean, I used to mark Bongani in set pieces. It was okay, Salomon. Happy, be strong, man.
blame Gavin. He brainwashed us.
And Figru. Actually, guys, be strong, Happy. It's a contact sport. NFL is a contact sport. That's why you learn.
Yeah.
You learn. You end up competing with them. Now, Shama elbow. Because you contact sport. But nowadays,
And don't forget, Gavin, best gym,
Indeed.
Simbi, every day. Training session every day. Our gym, Simbi. Gym. I can't make this up. 8 o'clock, ting, first rep. 45 minutes gym, 45 minutes field, home. Done. Quick shot. Yeah. We were in the gym every day, just about every day. That's why we're so strong.
Physical team.
Yeah, very physical.
And that's the most neglected part in South Africa.
Right now, I believe so.
The
It's
gym.
so
Yeah,
important.
because everybody thinks
Longevity.
just running.
No, longevity, it's so important. And when we were whenever we played Pirates, Chiefs, Sundowns as a crowd, he's probably the most relaxed. Okay, when we only panic when we play both these stage. Hey, then he's not okay. Play Pirates. He's relaxed.
Because he knows you're motivated already.
Yeah, he knows.
There's nothing else
He's like, hey, make it a fight. They don't like a fight. They want to play nice, make it a fight. Hey, Bongani, that striker, you must. And I played with Morgan. Morgan is streetwise.
That is a fighter, man.
Morgan streetwise. I remember, I'm giving away our secrets here. Morgan would be like, Morgan, listen, first challenge. I know it's going to look obvious, ne? First challenge. Watch more. And when you play with someone for a long time, ne? You learn each other's rhythm. You can tell. That's very exact. No, it don't happen. No, it's a challenge. No, not here. Not here. You have to come over the top. Do you understand? So it's the leverage. But I know Morgan, sometimes if he's late, then there's a head collision. Do you understand? But he would be like, hey, so now in my head, I'm like, you know what? There's a good chance someone is going to feel something. It's not supposed to feel. So now, as the ball goes up, and Morgan had this thing where I can even tell you till today, every time he had his header, he'd go back, he'd go down, then he'd go 1-2 and he would jump. Yeah. When I that 1-2 when it's late, I'm like, let me cover. Because I know he's late. So the first challenge, and it's always the first challenge. The first challenge, sometimes like Cape Town, the ball holds up a bit more. So chances are, a lot of time, your first challenge will be risky. So Morgan, listen, first challenge, I'm going, just cover me, because I don't know. Then after that, once you get contact, remember, it's a competitive game. Once you get contact, nothing illegal. Once you get contact, then now a striker is always worried, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And remember, we big guys, so everyone wants to shield you. So Tina says, and then when the ball comes, that's what you do. From there, once this is, you're happy knows.
No, I'm laughing when he mentions Morgan because there was a game Morgan played with Kaizer Chiefs and he punched someone. And he was
not like that.
No, I understand.
That was a happenstance.
Let me tell you, Morgan's and Unobongan, back jump, wazokushala. Ngedolo.
We can't say this on record, but you know, there's
it's something that works for us.
Yeah.
It was something that works for us as defenders.
100%.
You know, the first tackle now is a right back. First tackle in your heart, Baba.
Also, as a goalkeeper, growing up and being a goalkeeper, you always told, protect yourself first.
100%.
So in a cross, your knee has to go up first.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who you chase.
You protect yourself.
Make sure
Not a
that
foul.
it's not a foul.
No, back
the
in the
referee
day,
will protect you.
It was proper contact. It was, you know, you were in a competition. You could feel what it's not just.
Yeah, Maramelo be intimidated in front about that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be a long day.
Otherwise, bazoqeda. And it has a defenders njani now. Yo, we hate uqeda.
I want to preempt the second episode or part 2 because time is gone. But
Yeah, we're having fun.
time is gone. I'm having too much fun.
Probably giving away too much as well.
Yeah, you're giving away too much, right?
No, we need.
But we're loving it. And, you know, I'm preempting this because I want us to have a part 2 and talk about your time abroad. But just a bit about it. Knowing that you're going to Tottenham Hotspurs at the time, of course, there was a bit of a partnership with SuperSport. And maybe there was an idea that you probably might be going, you know, to a Tottenham. But that move, how does it come about? And that feeling of getting on and leaving this country, knowing the sacrifices you've done for your personal life, having lost your parents, now you're getting this opportunity to go to a level that not many South African players get to go.
I mean, look, it was obviously, quite special because, you know, these are conversations, the dreams I used to share with my mother and things, you know, that I would have wanted. So when the chance came, people don't realize, people just think I played World Cup and I signed. I actually went on trial. So I actually went on trial afterwards. And I came, long story short, after the World Cup, came back, you know, there's still, you know, the Champions League is in off-season. Then Gavin wanted me to play in the Champions League. I'm like, hey, I'm tired, I haven't rested. No, you must play, because now remember, now it's almost like if you don't play, now it's like, so you're jail or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you're picking your games. I'm like, no, like, honestly, like, I've not had a break. Like, you know, can I just rest? There's another season, you're going to want to try and win another league, you know? So, anyways, long story short, I end up playing Ngalimala. Ankle, boom, moon boot. And then what I had was the letter to invite me over for a trial. And I said to my agent, I'm like, okay, you know, I've won the league 3 times in a row. I'm the youngest captain to lift a trophy. I played in the World Cup. I've scored in the World Cup. What's happening? And there was nothing. There was nothing. No interest in Europe. There's nothing. I'm like, but chief, like, how
do something.
No, I'm like, how else can I help you do your job? Like, seriously.
Do something.
Honestly, now find something. And I'm not gonna lie to you, as young as I was, I sat down, I'm like, hey, what's going on? There has to be something, because this doesn't happen. You understand? So, and obviously before, there's always a chance, okay, you're doing it for SuperSport, but it's not Pirates or Chiefs or whatever, but there's always buts. I'm like, okay, what but now? I just scored in the World Cup for national team. What but can they possibly be
Against
now?
France, my man.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna lie to you, I was frustrated because, and maybe this shows my hunger and aggression. Like this is not a mistake, this is what I wanted and I was deliberate. It wasn't a mistake, like, hey, I worked for this, now I'm here, what's going on? So long story short, now there's a letter from Spurs to come on trial because obviously there's a relationship with the academy. And to be fair, I only found out when I got to Spurs, when I signed, Gavin would go there, so shout out to Gavin. Gavin would go there for some coaching badges or just be around the team. And Gavin would talk to Harry and say, hey, listen, there's a young centre-back I have, he's really good, I think you like him, but not now, give him a couple more years or whatever. So they actually told me, like, no, we actually heard about you 2 years before from your old coach. So I was like, oh, wow. So anyways, I go on trial. I land with Glenn, we land in the morning, my agent at the time. We land, Singena Lapaya, it's like Sainsbury's, it's like basically like a Checkers. Sainsbury's, 30 full chicken, coleslaw, bread. Samba sai hotel. We both ate, sleep, right? I think got to hotel about 12, 1 o'clock. Salala. Vuga ngabo 4 or 5. Fine, we link up again. We meet up with some agents to go for dinner, whatever. Go for dinner, come back. The next day I had training. So I trained with the first team the Monday. Trained with the first team, short session because they had a Wednesday game. The Tuesday I trained with the reserves. Wednesday I play with the reserves. I played 65, 70 minutes. They take me off. Take me off. I'm like, oh well. As the game ends, walking back to the change room, Tim Sherwood and Les Ferdinand, they're like, hey, big man, when you're done showering, just meet us in the office. I'm like, okay, cool.
Were they in charge of the academy?
Yeah, the reserves and the academy, yeah. So they were the head of the academies and obviously were in charge of the reserve team, obviously with the obviously linked to the first team as well. Yeah. So they're like, no, meet us, at the reception, cafeteria, get some food, we'll come get you. Cool. They come get me. And this is why I love Europe. People are very straightforward. Come get me, sit down. Bah. They're like, okay, we want to sign you. How does it work? I'm like,
I was crying out on it.
I must go defend the league for the 4th time.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Man.
Like, what happens? Are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you, what's happening? And that was it. And then from there, obviously, it's just arrangements. I couldn't move directly because of work permit challenges because it was so close. I actually went injured. Yes, I went on trial injured. I was like, I'll never forget. Glenn sits me down now. Because I'm in a pool trying to get fit. I'm in a bike. I'm doing everything to stay fit, just to take weight off. I think I trained maybe 3-4 sessions. We played a game before I left. There was a game we played, normally cup game, whatever. We played a game. Somewhere, Dobsonville. Yeah, I played Dobsonville. That's why I remember Swallows. Yeah, we played Dobsonville. From there, I remember Glenn in the week is like, no, how are you feeling? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm training here and there. He's like, no, if you're not okay, let's rather leave it. Because if you go there and you struggle, maybe it work or what,
Maybe,
it's like, no, maybe just wait until you feel better, then you can go later. I'm like, hey, Chief, I am going.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to drink Pulse. I'm going to inject this thing. We are going. So, let me Swallows. Tell Gav, I'm like, hey, I'm fine. Put me in there. I'm going to play. Ngadala. Nice. 90 minutes, like, hey, how do you feel? I'm like, I feel nothing. Because I'm on pain. Our flight was that night. Literally after the game, showered, boarded the flight, boom. And that's what happened. So I actually went on trial technically injured. Yeah. So now as much as, okay, you want to sign you, I'm worried about I must come back to the PSL. Plus I must also nurse this thing.
The injury. Yeah.
But I'm like, now that we are here, let's make this work. So then obviously couldn't move then because it was late in the transfer window. So like, no, there's too many documents to prepare. Let's rather wait for January, do things properly. And then, so then I actually landed in the UK on my birthday on the 6th.
Oh, what a birthday gift.
Yeah.
What a birthday gift. Last thing I want to chat about, and you mentioned it so quickly, you just passed it, but you trained the first team when you arrived, and then you went to the reserves. I mean, arriving, I'm not quite too sure what the training grounds of Tottenham were called or are called at this point. But you arrive, and looking at that team at the time, you had the likes of Robbie Keane, who was still the captain at the time, Jermaine Defoe. Was Modric not there at the time?
Was,
yes,
Luka was there.
Luka Modric was already there.
And our legend, Steve Pinner
was part of that team as well.
No, Steven came after me, actually.
After you.
Yeah. He came after you?
The word is, no, yeah. They actually thanked me, like, oh, no, thank you for convincing Steve to come through. No,
he came after him, if I remember well. Chelsea, rather.
Yeah.
Chelsea were looking for Steven Pinard as well at the time.
But if you know the inner workings of football.
Oh, tell us.
No, I can't divulge.
Ladonga khuluma ngale team le. Yashaya ngenye indlela noTemzansi ba-invitile nge-Vodacom challenge.
Chelsea.
Tottenham. Yeah, he played against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Marongathi banishanga enye indlela if you guys didn't hold your own.
And the final,
final again, they were just showing right now.
So let me tell you the inside of that story now. I'll tell you the inside of that story. So start with skill. Obviously I sign, you get there and it's like, wow, these guys, it's like these guys. And guys, I tell you now, Premier League players, you watch them on TV and you're like, wow, these guys are amazing. In fact, what they get you mean? They are unbelievable. You see things you've never seen before. Training. I would advise, if it was possible for people to watch training sessions of those guys, you won't believe what you see. The things that Luka Modric does in training, like just top corner, if it's small-sided game, any chance, net. Any chance, net, post. Like, it is the quality and the intensity. Unbelievable. Like, Jermaine Defoe, love him. Great, great guy. Gemma, you come in the morning, it's like, hey, you ask Jermaine Defoe, hey, Gemma, hey, how's it going? How was last night? No, it was great. Got home, napped, woke up. Like, decided to do some gym. So I did some Pilates, stretch, some strength. Came back, like, Bongs, watch me. Anything I touch today, go. You better hope you're in his team, eh? Better hope
he's gonna win.
Listen, because everyone is so competitive. Wow, shots, and it is, you really, when I'm out voga, you know, listen, I'm a footballer. Like, you know, you really feel that feeling. Everyone is always switched on. The quality is unbelievable.
I scored against you guys.
I saw, yeah.
A long range.
No, I love it. No, I remember.
Man, Bongs, time
Thank
is...
you.
Yeah, it's killed us. I want to come back. When you come back the next time, we got to touch on OJ Mabizela as well. You know, his legacy that he left there. All those things. Colchester United, you know, your time in the lower divisions and all of that. So it would be nice to have you back. And also chat
probably
about
another hour and a half.
Yeah,
And that's got Tashanga.
my man, we're not even...
No, I mean, Wits, look, I'll tell you, the Wits thing is incredible. It's, you know, I came back, went to SuperSport, didn't work out, and Gavin was like, hey, come, I want to win another league. Hey, we've been struggling to win the league. We have great players. This is what I need you to do. And when I signed for Wits, I chose jersey number 4. Because I told Gavin, I'm like, if you give me 2 years, I'll win you the league. And I chose number 4 and won the league, and I was like, cheers. It's that simple.
He was assembling.
I wouldn't, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't go down. I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't say I'm a Wits legend, because I'm very respectful. Yes. Guys who are legends, Abo, Hlachwayo, Vila was there, Mkhonazi. Those are the guys, the backbone, the pillars. Those are the guys. Me, I just came to okay, you are here, let me just try.
You know
what I mean? Elevate the standard.
That's it.
Maralawa Bakona not 10 win a league.
Not 10. We are 10. He knows. The minute we saw Dane, he was like, Chief, you know what we do. Guys, thank you.
Hey,
thank you, boss.
Another episode of iDiski Dine. And look, Aspelelanga, without, did I say correct?
Yeah.
We still need to come back.
Aspelelanga.
We still need to come back for part 2. A big thank you to Bongs. Thank you so much. We appreciate the things that you've done for South African football. You've always repped the flag. You continue to do so well. We're going to get our Champions League predictions on camera, but it's fine. That's how we wrap up iDiski Dine. Join us for another episode. Don't forget, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend that we're dining with the stars.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Bongs.
Thank you. Sorry, I talk a lot.
I said Funa food.
But you signed up for it.
Funa food. Sharp buffet.